last question. When you think of the manliest person, who comes to mind?
When I think of the manliest person, again, the person that comes to mind for me is my Uncle Andrew. He is the person who, you know, he taught me everything I know. Like, and he's not toxic. It was like, if I was upset, he was like, it's okay to be upset, but you have to kind of deal with it and move on. If I fell over, he was the person that would say, get up, you'll be fine. You know, how you're feeling is how you're feeling. Deal with it and move on. You know, it was always never a thing of like, if you get hurt, you should feel ashamed because you're a man and you shouldn't be crying. And it was never anything like that. So when I think of a manly man, I don't think of someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. You know, your stereotypical people, and not that I really want to use celebrities as a example, but you know, when you see the kind of films they're in and stuff, people automatically think, oh, that's a manly man. But okay, you might have that bravado, but it's deeper than that. It's much deeper than that, and I think we have to stop being so surface level when we deal with our problems, when we're dealing with our traumas and things like that. We need to stop being so surface level and actually dig a little bit deeper, and actually you'll find that there's more to us, a lot more to us, men, women, whatever. Like, there's more to us. Let's dig deeper. Don't be so surface level.
I must say, I don't tend to think about men as manly, or maybe that's the wrong thing, right? But when I think of a man who I really admire, I immediately think of my brother, you know, as a black man. I don't know if it's because he often says that you've been so instrumental in shaping me as a man. You know, so maybe that's a little bit of an ego boost for me, I don't know, but I really like his balance. He's very compassionate, he's very calm, he's steady, he's hardworking, he's a real upstanding figure in the community. We're extremely proud of him, and I see him as quite a pillar, a rock, somebody I can depend on. He's supportive. If I'm in real trouble, he's somebody I would call. You know, and I know he would be there for me. Yeah. And you know, he's quite fit actually. So is my brother. But you know, I see him as a strong man. You know, but it's probably not necessarily in the same way as brute strength. He is strong, he's capable. Like, I'm not being funny. If I need some manual labor done in my house, I'm gonna call him and ask him to help me. But when I see what I love about his other male qualities that I love is that he's kind, he's supportive, he listens, he listens, and he cares. You know, so it's a all-encompassing kind of picture of manly, if that makes sense. And you know, he's somebody I can have some deep, meaningful conversations with. We were talking about how during slavery, men were, if they were fit men, you know, if they looked really like manly, how they would be taken from plantation to plantation to impregnate women, because the slave master would want men or children, offspring, to be strong and manly like that. And we were talking about, I was sort of saying to him, how do you think that translates to men currently, especially in the black community? How, you know, they've got loads of baby mothers, loads of baby, and that sort of thing. And in a funny kind of way, he was saying, yeah, but it's still like they're on the plantation, because that's what would happen on the plantation. They would, one man, if he's like Kunta Kinte or something, I don't know, you know, he's fit and strong and healthy, all his teeth, you know, good worker, hard working, really manly. He would like a bull, like a cow bull, you know, male cow would be sold or used by farmers to breed with their other cows so that they can produce these really strong, healthy calves. The black man was used in the same way during slavery to impregnate women left, right, and center, yeah, to produce even more stronger, healthy slaves, right? So, and I remember talking to my brother about this. He's 43 now. It's 20 years ago. But I remember when he was around 20 or so, he was a little bit of a gallus, up and down. And because you know what? You don't have to be the stud service of Northeast London. Do you know what I mean? And that's when we started having these conversations. And I must say, I really respect him because he heard that. And he could say, wow, how am I repeating this kind of narrative, this transgenerational narrative that's been imprinted to me that I didn't even know about? And I'm sort of unconsciously just following, and I don't want to have a baby mother there and a baby mother there, and I'm very proud to say that he's married with his children, and not that I'm saying anything is wrong if that's what your situation is. Like you've ended up having multiple children for multiple partners. I don't want people to think that I'm criticizing or throwing any shade on that. That is what it is. But I think a lot of the times, a lot of young black men, they don't know the history. They don't know that this is what happened on the plantations, and you're just now, 200 years later, repeating it. They really don't know. And then sometimes when you say this to them, like, whoa, how are we just so unconsciously doing these things that we've been conditioned to do over generations? And because manliness, in a slavery context was actually, it's almost like they weaponized manhood, because if man is strong and all of that, it's always like a weapon against family. And if you damage family structures, we're animals then, right? Because if you damage family structures, you won't have communities and you won't have a powerful people. So it's easy to oppress us, right? And just because we just be breeding more slaves we're not part of a unit or a community. I know it's a long-winded answer, but it just triggered the thought about how manliness has been perceived within black men. And this is something I've been able to talk to my brother about. And I must say, I really respect and admire how he's been able to kind of tolerate that conversation and how he's been able to kind of use that as, not a blueprint, but he's used it within his life. He's saying, I need to be conscious to not repeat those patterns. I need to break those slave chains, really, emancipate your mind. Yeah, as Bob said.
Not many people want the definition of a man. They're going to tell you about some, like you see a movie with some hero or what you call it, James Bond movie or what you call it. The quickest thing I want to say that people say is those kind of character. But definition of a man, I believe, is someone not just about one thing, but a broad sort of to cover the whole entire what life should be. You can see things that is not right, and you can see things that is wrong, and he would actually step in and try to put it right. As you got some leader in this world today who will stand up, give their life just for the right thing. We got some leader that gone through life. You got something like Nelson Mandela, all those men who actually go through hell in their life, what they believe was right, and fight for it, end up in jail for it, and come out and never have a bitterness about it. It's hard to forgive those people who actually do. And I think it's very hard to find. Now you got man like Martin Luther King, those give their life for what was right for black people. And those things that I see in men is very hard to find today. It's very hard to find someone to give up everything that the men they didn't have to go out there and spread the word about injustice that done to them. They could just sit aside and just watch whatever happened to them. So my definition of a man is those people who actually stand up for the race. We got men, even from Jamaica, Marcus Garvey, all those is the men that I really admire. That stand up to make change for their race and injustice that's my definition of a man. A real man.